everyone, welcome back to Roxy and Kylo's Barkast.
We're so happy you're here.
Welcome to the museum day after show. Today's adventure had been sitting in my head for a while before we actually did it. Ever since binge watch day, when we watched the entire Chomps trilogy together. I couldn't stop thinking about how much Kylo loved those sharks. So when I found out the Pupville Museum had a real shark exhibit, I knew exactly what we were doing next. I just didn't tell him that part.
She really didn't. I had no idea what I was walking into. We started in the history gallery, looking at old photos and these ancient three-wheeled bicycles.
Kylo found a vintage leather helmet and just stopped, sniffed it for a full minute.
It smelled interesting, but you kept nudging me along.
This is neat, but we have so much more to see, I said very casually. Not suspicious at all.
In hindsight, extremely suspicious.
Then we hit the Hall of Giants, and there was this huge dinosaur skeleton.
It roared at us. There was a red button on the floor, and I pressed it, and the whole skeleton went roar again.
He jumped about a foot in the air the first time.
I was startled, then I just kept pressing it. It stopped being scary real fast.
After that, we went through the space exhibit. Planets hanging from the ceiling, this big, silver rocket ship.
I wanted to stop and count every star. Roxy was already at the far door waving me over.
The best part is just around the corner, I kept saying. Which was true. I just wasn't telling him what it was.
You were walking faster than usual all day. I started to think something was up.
I was that excited, I could barely keep it together.
And then we pushed open these big double doors, and the whole room lit up blue, and there was a tank that went all the way from the floor to the ceiling.
That's when it clicked. My favorite moment wasn't the sharks themselves. It was watching Kylo's face when he saw them. His jaw actually dropped, his tail stopped mid-wag. Getting to see someone you care about that happy, over something you planned just for them. That's the best part of the whole day, honestly.
Mine was obviously the sharks. There was a hammerhead and a great white, and then we walked through this underwater tunnel where rays and sharks were swimming right over our heads. It felt like we were walking on the bottom of the ocean. I'd only ever seen sharks in movies before. Seeing them for real was completely different. We ended up finding a bench right in front of the biggest window and just sat there for a while. Didn't say much. Just watched them swim.
That was my favorite part too, actually. The quiet bit after all the excitement.
Knowing you planned that whole day around something you knew I loved. That was oddly meticulous, Roxy, in a good way.
I have my moments.
Time for looking back. Did anyone else notice the pockets on the back of my vest? They wouldn't stay put. One scene they'd sit right at my waist, next scene they'd slide down lower toward my hips. And they kept changing size too, big in one shot, tiny in the next.
Yeah, they were definitely wandering around back there, and shrinking and growing.
Maybe they were exploring the museum too.
Or maybe our illustrator just couldn't decide where they belonged, or how big they should be.
Also very possible.
Funny enough, our collars and your bow tie stayed put through the whole doors scene. Not a single wobble.
Guess they just didn't get the memo about wandering off like the pockets did.
Today wasn't really about a museum, or even about sharks. It was about paying attention. Knowing what someone loves, and building something around it.
You knew exactly what I'd love, and you turned an entire day into that.
Knowing someone well enough to make them feel seen and understood. That's one of the greatest gifts we can give someone. What mattered? Knowing someone matters. Okay, Pack, here's today's Pack question.
Is there someone in your life you could take a little time to do something nice for, just because you know what they'd love?
Drop it in the comments. We want to hear who you're thinking of. Our next adventure is a very special one, because a certain someone's birthday is coming up.
Wait, you mean my birthday?
Maybe I'm not saying what I've got planned though.
Roxy.
You'll have to come back next time to find out. Thanks for joining us for another Barkast.
Until next time, enjoy what matters one moment at a time.
Look, Roxy, that's a hammerhead shark. And there's a great white. I can't believe I'm seeing them for real.